What's up, YouTube? Apocalyptic P back, and we're finally taking a look at these Mattel Zombies figure line for WWE. So I got a Series 1 figure here, and I got one from Series 2, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin. First off, let me start talking about my feelings on the lines. When they first got announced, I thought it was going to be a cool idea. Let's look at the first series. Here was it from the Triple H, was from the first series. Around the back, you see the rest of the wrestlers in Series 1. I only bought two wrestlers from Series 1. I got The Undertaker and Triple H. What I was hoping they would do was take the wrestlers, take their personalities, their gimmicks a little bit, and mash them up into, a zombification process to kind of create these figures. With Series 1, I think we kind of just got a lot of the wrestlers. They took them, they just added some bags underneath their eyes, some scraped up bodies, some cuts, and said, here you go. Some of them do look cool, I will say that. But for my money, I was hoping they would do some more of those creative touches to them. But that's where the Triple H from this first series actually landed in what I was hoping a little bit more for. A little bit more creativeness in the figure itself, not just putting a different coat of paint on the figure. So first off, we'll take a look at the Triple H from the first series, and we'll see here kind of what I'm talking more about. So as you saw, there's the front of the package and the back, and the rest of the ones in Series 1. Let's take them out here. So again, overall in the first series, this Triple H was my favorite figure of that first series. Like I said, the reason why is the two main things with this figure I thought was really neat. The first being his head sculpt. His whole gimmick with the skulls. He has a lot of imagery of them on his attire and his shirts. Being the king of kings, he calls himself, with the crown. They kind of took that and mashed that in and made that skull his face. Plus they put the crown on the figure too. The crown itself, it does come off. I try to get a close up there, but there's just a bunch of little mini skulls around it. So it does come off the head sculpt there. Fits right back on. But that, again, like I said, that imagery is kind of, something that relates to Triple H and his character. So that alone I thought was really neat. Second one for this figure is you see, his body. It's pretty much in decent shape for a zombie. But the big injury here in his leg is this quad. Is a torn quad muscle, which actually happened to Triple H. Was a legit injury that Triple H suffered during a match. He tore his quad muscle, put him out of action for a few months. So that little touch there, I thought was really neat. Again, taking something from the actual wrestler, the character, and mixing it in to the figure some way. So like I said, those two things, just those two personal touches from the character onto the figure, is what I think made this one the best in the first series. They just didn't take him and put some different paint on him and make him look like he has bags under his eyes. Standard attire, nothing crazy with the attire. But for Series 1, like I said, my favorite one. I did get the Undertaker also because I got it cheap. That figure just looks like an Undertaker figure, to be honest with you. He already looks like a zombie in most of his other figures, so nothing was crazy with that one. But rating this, it's hard to rate this against other figures, so I'm just going to rate it within the series, the first series of zombie figures. This is an 8.5 out of 10, just compared to the rest in the first series. So that's the Triple H. Okay, next up, this is the Series 2 wave of the zombie figures, and it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. This one here, I'll get into more of it, but I think they nailed it with this Stone Cold. Front of the package, you have the back of the package. The rest in the line here, got the Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Sasha Banks, Brock Lesnar, and AJ Styles. I've yet to pick up any of the other ones in the line. I really wanted to get the Stone Cold one first because, like I said, there's a lot I like about this figure. So let's get him out of the package here and take a look. Alright, so here it is out of the package. Again, this figure, I think, just nailed it. I think what the series, to me, meant and what they did with this one was just spot on. So, first off, let's look at the head scan and we'll start there. So first off, his head scan is basically his symbol from his shirts, which was very popular back in the Attitude Era, with the smoking skull head with the smoke coming out the eyes. That is very iconic imagery when you talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin. So they took that and they made that the figure's head. Awesome detail with the face, the smoke coming out the eyes, how it's rising up in the air. I mean, that just alone, when I saw that, pretty much knew I'd wanted to pick this one up. That's just some awesome imagery right there with the head and the skull. Going down, he does have his vest with him. So his Austin 316 with the skull on. He spin around to the back, Stone Cold with the vest. Going down, he does have his knee pads on, his big, bulky knee pads on his legs, black boots. Under the knee pad, he does have his tattoo of Texas. There's a tattoo of Texas on his leg. So again, this is a basic figure. A basic figure to have his vest, his knee pads, his tattoos, the sculpting in the head. For the price you pay for this and what you get, this is an amazing deal. To see a basic with this much detail. Probably one of the best basics, detail-wise, I've seen. It does have a little bit of scratches, marks, where the flesh is eaten away in the shoulder. His arm here, his forearm, is pretty much all decayed. And he has his pinky raised up, which I'm not sure why that is. You know, it would be nice to see if it was his middle finger. I don't know if they could really sell a figure to kids where it's flipping them off, but that might be why the pinky's up, just to kind of somewhat symbolize that. Taking a look at the stomach. His stomach's ripped open. You can see his insides pretty much hanging out. His intestines are starting to spill out the side. You can see his rib cage through the vest when it's off. So here he is with the vest taken off. Like I said, for a basic figure, this is just a nice standard Stone Cold vest. You don't get vests with a lot of his other basic figures even, so that's pretty neat accessory alone right there. But like I said, as you can see, you can pretty much almost see right through his stomach to the back here. All around the side, into his back, you can start to see his rib cage and spine, the detail in the back there. So like I said, overall just the detail in this figure, from the head to the stomach to the knee pads, the tattoo, it's just the vest. This is kind of what I wished most of the figures in the line, that they took them this far. You can definitely tell that they put a little bit more attention to this figure, and it shows. And if each figure was like this, I'd buy more in the set. But some of them you can tell you kind of just phoned it in. This one, they spent the time, and it's awesome. You know, out of the two series, this definitely is the best figure out of the both of them. Let's go ahead and get his vest back on, because I think he looks pretty badass with it on. So there he is with his vest back on. Like I said, just a awesome figure. Rating it, I'm going, based on the two series, it's definitely a 10 out of 10. Just highly recommended. Again, for what all you get for the price, the detail, you can tell that the time they spent with it. If you need to pick up only one of the zombie figures, this is definitely the one to try to find to get, in my opinion. Very happy I picked it up. Like I said, 10 out of 10. The Triple H, 8.5. But these are kind of, like I said, the two that to me kind of represent what I was hoping for from the Zombies figures. They took a little bit of the character's personality, their gimmick, mashed it in to the figure, made them look cool. They stand out. So if you need to pick up just a few, like I said, these are my two recommendations. Series 1 Triple H, Series 2 Stone Cold Steve Austin. So there you go, folks. Thanks for watching the video. Please hit that like button. You know, let me know what your thoughts were on the zombie line, who your favorite figures were, why. Check out my channel, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more videos. We'll see you next time.